Hey you, so this is the first video in a series I've wanted to do for a long time now called Thanksdays. I want to introduce you to the people who make my videos possible and the work that goes into them, because even though my video descriptions are super detailed, you never read them, so just eat a dick. Eat a whole bunch of dicks. This first episode is going to be about animators, because animation is the thing I'm most frequently and incorrectly praised for. Growing up, I always wanted to be an animator, but I eventually realized that I didn't have the drive, talent, or patience to do it, and by the time I was 18, I quit to focus on writing and directing. So please allow me to introduce you to the animators past and present of TomSka. The first animator I have to mention is James Cunningham, who at the age of just 13 animated the first ever Astor movie. James approached me through MySpace back when I had around 1,000 subscribers and he had 3,000 and offered to animate something for my channel for fun. This was back before I made any money off YouTube, so months later when I got my first ever paycheck, I gave him a whole £30 out of the kindness of my heart. Nicely done, 18-year-old me. Nicely done. Next, I absolutely have to talk about Joshua Palmer, who animated some of the coolest videos on my channel, including War, Mr. Cat, and the I Like Trains music video, along with Chaos Relay and Stabbed. Josh is completely self-taught and one of the most talented animators I've ever worked with. Just watching him animate is mesmerizing because of how fast and flawlessly he powers through the most complicated sequences. Zach Hadel is an animator I came across on Newgrounds back in 2010, and he animated a couple videos for my channel called Snowballs and Rock Bottom, whilst also becoming super popular in his own right. So, thanks for that, Zach. On Newgrounds, my old stomping ground, to which I wasn't really welcome, I also found Edgar Nielsen, who animated Drunk Science. I loved his style so much, I tried to pin him down to animate Crash Zoom, but after a couple attempts at the first episode, it became apparent that neither of us were ready for that sort of commitment. Also, the pay was probably terrible because I was still at university. However, Crash Zoom is now being animated by the one and only Ben One Chop Smallman. I first met Ben back in 2004 when we were both members of the Lock Legion, a very unique animation community. On top of Crash Zoom, Ben has also animated Astor Movie 4, 6, 7, 8, the Do the Flop, and Mind Turtle music videos, along with the deleted scenes, and a scrapped video called Magical Dream Bed. Here's to another 10 years, buddy. You're gonna need a lot of these. Speaking of Astor Movie animators, a lot is owed to Jamie Rage19 Spicer Lewis, who animated both Astor Movie 3 and 5. I first met Jamie when he suggested a joke for Astor Movie 3, but instead of taking that suggestion, I just asked him to animate the whole thing instead. Jamie also animated 2 videos which were released during Scrapped Week called Freshman Llama and Rainbow, so sorry about that, Jamie. Next up, we have Matt Lay, who animated both Video Games Are Dumb and Designated Driver. I love working with Matt because of his super clean style, and I'm trying to squeeze as much work out of him as possible before he goes off to university. So young. So beautiful. Now it's time to thank some of the animators I've worked with just the once. We have Kim, who animated Face, Ross, who animated Just in Time, which I was legally forced to rename by the Canadian company responsible for a show called Just in Time, Scott, who animated Stripper Cake, Jonty, who animated the cutscenes for Cat Attack, Alex, who animated Detective TomSka and Tanya Bear, and Sven, who is currently animating the reboot of Magical Dream Bed. Thank you guys, I salute you all. Now, and probably most importantly, we have Ed Gould. I started uploading my first ever comics and cartoons to websites like sticksuicide.com at the turn of the millennium, and it was here where I met an adorable, baby-faced 14-year-old Ed. As someone who desperately wanted to be a popular animator, I saw Ed as this godlike figure because he had like 10 whole people watching his videos. I pestered him until we became friends, and together we worked on his show, Ed's World. He also animated a couple of videos for my channel, most notably Astor Movie 2, in which he played the I Like Trains kid, and also the Astor Movie 2 deleted scenes, and Astormite, our first ever sponsored video. And also a video called 2 Canadians on a Plane, which I'd rather just forget. You'll always be missed, old friend. Finally, I need to thank the animators who stepped up to keep Ed's World running after Ed passed away. Most notably, an incredibly talented artist whose name you should know by now, Paul Tavoda. Paul moved to England to help Ed with the show, but kind of ended up becoming the face of it. It was a lot of responsibility for which I feel largely responsible, but his contributions to the show have been amazing. He also animated a video called Memories for my channel, as well as a couple weirder things, and Paul, I just want to say thank you so much. But let's not forget the other animators who have made Ed's World possible. There's Pearl, who animated Tom's Tales of Crazy, Tobias, who animated Hide and Seek, Anthony, who animated Power Red, as well as the swishy fist thing at the start of my videos, and Sandra, who is animating Mirror Mirror. And also a special thanks to Josh and Jonty, who illustrated the backgrounds for Space Face. We could not have done this without them. Now, I'm also sorry to say that I owe a long overdue public apology to some of these artists, namely Zach, Josh, Paul, and James. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life when it comes to paying you guys both fairly and on time, which is ironic given how often I've handed out unrealistic deadlines. I respect that I've lost the right to work with a lot of you again, and all I can do is apologize again and promise that these days I do everything in my power to avoid making these mistakes. I have a lot of love and respect for animation, and I've fucked up, and I've mistreated it, and I know a lot of people won't believe me when I say this, but I am genuinely sorry. Yeah. So, on that cheery note, I want to say a final thank you to the animators that have made my stupid ideas a reality over the years. Apologize again to those I have wronged, and I also hope that you, the person watching this, appreciate these people and what they do maybe just a little bit more. Thank you, and TomSka out.
Stop! I'm you from the future!
No, dude, you're like so funny. You're like the funniest guy ever. If you just sign here, I'll own your soul, okay? No, you should totally come around my house. We'd have a great time. We could eat some ice and watch the snow.